Hi folks, this is Soke Grandmaster Soto. Thank you. Like always, it's an honor to share my photo gallery with the general public. I've been studying martial arts since 1956. This is some of the pictures and some of the masters that I've trained with, and some of the masters that I know within the martial arts world, within itself. The first couple of pictures is myself, Sensei Schooner, Papa Sankanti, David Lee Brown, and Grandmaster Charlie Sparrow, my teacher and my friend, and he's dead now. May he rest in peace. This is when I won the East Coast Championship. The next picture is Tommy Chen, Robert Crossan, Grandmaster Robert Crossan, myself, and Grandmaster David Lee Brown. This is when I trained in St. John Center Jiu-Jitsu with Grandmaster Rudy Jones in the 70s, training some of the moves, the shoulder throws, wrist lock, takedowns, so forth, and Hakido. That was Tanukas Rue. I trained with a group of African Americans many years ago, and today they call it Tanukas Rue, and so forth under Dr. Powers. He was one of my teachers at one time or another. Again, this is me doing flying sidekick and posing, of course, like always. Martial arts means the world. I've been practicing all these years to the present, since 1956 to the present, in Jiu-Jitsu and Aki-Jitsu, and I studied various forms and had various instructors and masters, throughout my years of practicing. I'm a world champion. I won numerous of tournaments within my career of martial arts. Whether West Point tournament, bare knuckle fighting, full contact, and kickboxing, and kumite tournaments, which was unheard of, but they existed at one time or another. This is myself, Grandmaster Powell, shaking hands at the Hall of Fame that he inducted me to his family. And he was happy to see me because I haven't seen him in years. This is Grandmaster Danny McKee's. I also studied pressure points at one time in ninjutsu with him and Kempo martial arts. That's when I was sidekick when I was overseas. This is myself with movie producer Rafael Pinella, Joselando Corti, Charles Bronscombe. This film was Columbia Productions, and it aired in the movies, and it was actually in the movie theaters many years ago in the 70s. Doing my acting, I went to Juilliard and stuff like that to study acting, and a whole bunch of other theater stuff that I did in New York City and Soho area. This is one of my Kung Fu teachers, Pakwa Ying and Mantis. Studied with him for many days. I became a seafood for many years while I was doing Jiu-Jitsu and Judo and all a bunch of other arts. I was also studying Kung Fu because I liked it. I just wanted to be, martial arts was a epitome because I grew up in such a rough neighborhood, and so those days it was rugged. So to me, I had to learn how to fight. I had to learn how to move. I didn't want just wishy-washy martial arts. I wanted to learn how to fight for real, not just learn how to fight in the ring, but outside in the streets with knives, defending myself against guns, because that's what I was faced with. These are me breaking some bricks without spacers and breaking boards without spacers. And as you know, I'm known for iron palm and stuff like that, and it's true, it does work. It's not just a hoax and not something that my students are helping me with. This is Aaron Banks. I know Aaron Banks since the 70s, or the 60s actually, all the way to the present, and I've done many over like 50 shows with him throughout my career, and performed and fought in his tournaments. This is Gun Fu magazine, Body and Dojo, and Law Enforcement magazine as well. I've been to numerous of law enforcement. This is Foot Kick Wallace, myself and Aaron Banks. The next one is Don the Dragon Wilson and myself at the Hall of Fame there. And this is one of my friends in Grandmaster Denora, Billy Davis, Grandmaster Billy Davis with Don the Dragon, and some This is in Korea when I fought the Korean Championship and won. Cynthia Rockbar, movie star and martial artist, great tactician in the martial arts. Same thing with all the other masters. Professor Jonathan Stewart, Michael White, Jai White, Bone, movie actor, very fantastic martial artist. And this is Tom Cosell with Little John Davis, good friend of mine too. And more masters of the martial arts. This is one of the guys I defeated in the Comité, Lorenzo Wilson, with Frank Sanchez at the Hall of Fame many years ago. Billy Davis, of course. Now you got coming up in this next line of photos is basically the Black Dragon himself, Ron Van Cleve, Ron Duncan's son, Snoop, myself, Sugar, Grandmaster Robert Crossan, Maurice Ellerman from Budo Magazine, great martial artist, Rico Guy, in other words, I call him Guy, a Spanish thing. Grandmaster Irving Banks, and at the Hall of Fame, Jerry Cooney, Angel Muniz, known as a Tiger, kickboxing, good friend of mine. He's dead now. Bunch of grandmasters within itself. Seto Karate Nakamura, a bunch of guys there, and continue with some of the masters within itself at the Hall of Fame with myself and the Astros. And the next picture is Professor Ronald Duncan, ninjutsu and akijutsu master, fantastic martial artist, and been around all his life, law enforcement industry as well, contributed to teaching various law enforcement militaries around the country. It's been a great honor to work with these individuals because they're out there risking their lives for us, so it's my privilege and honor to do that. So with them, these are definitely more masters of the martial arts. Public Enemy, Master Frederick Peterson, the next master is basically Rico and Professor Ernest Hyman, Aaron Banks' student and stuff like that, and Omar, and most of the masters there. Okay, my friend and Comité champion Frank Dukes. We would have fought if we had continued. I won that 8 times, as you probably already know. I never got no credit for it. To me, martial arts was not about, getting money or stuff like that. It was about learning how to fight, learning how to train, learning about discipline and honor. I grew up in such a rough neighborhood. It was the most rugged neighborhood in Brownsville, Brooklyn, Brownsville. The homicide rate was fantastic there. Gang, just like when you see that movie, the Warriors. That's what it's all about in those days. I had to learn how to fight, and there was no time to, get easy or get recognition. That's what my students started telling me. Put your stuff out there now, Grandmaster. It's time. People know who you are, and I listen to them, and that's why I'm doing these tapes.